As far as the taxpayer, when they take a look at this audit and see our stories, they're going to be angry. What can you do to assure them that the money that's owed to the state and ergo the taxpayers is going to be collected, and how do you do that?
That's why we have attorneys. That's why we have a process. We will follow that process and ensure that everything that is due to the state it will be worked out, and we'll collect those monies as we can. There is a process, and we will follow those through.
If that means lawsuits, then so be it.
That's something that we would have to review.
Is the current model, feasible as existing as an enterprise fund? There were some suggestions of maybe more oversight or bringing some of the the duties or obligations under state purchasing or under state personnel office. What's your take on that?
Well, I think there's a little misconception too that we do work with the Department of Finance. We have with our budget, and this is why we are at this point where we are actually getting the books clean, where we understand what really numbers we're working. I didn't even know what numbers were real and what were kind of perceived. Again, I believe my director of administrations, who has a very strong accounting background in auditing, understood that we had a problem with the way the books were being recorded. We have addressed that. We have since fixed it. We are cleansing that, and now we'll have a baseline to know what is real and what is perceived. I mean, that gets back down to attendance numbers. If you're going to count vendors and employees as attendees, then your numbers are going to be skewed. We're going to do it the right way so that we know what the base is and build on that.
So you're confident you can turn this thing around?
I'm very confident that I can turn it around, and not just me, myself. It's going to take partnerships. I can't do it. It's not Dan Mourning's State Fair. This is the People's State Fair. And without the partnerships of other municipalities, including the City of Albuquerque, the County of Bernalillo, and the state working together, and that includes legislature as well as the governor, who is very committed to the State Fair, this isn't going to happen. So this is a good meeting. This meeting was very good to get a lot of things out on the table, that people have ideas. I think there's a lot of misperception that's been put out there at this point in time. I know there's a lack of understanding of the process, the state process. Me coming from the private sector, it was a difficult learning curve for myself. But we are doing what the state process is, and we will continue to do so.
What kind of timeline are you looking at if you're going to turn this thing around? Year, 2 years? How long would it take?
That's until we resolve some of these existing issues that have been kind of dumped in the last 9 months. It's very difficult to say how long. Again, I think this is getting down to getting with our legislative partners, and putting together some, not a task force per se, but something where people that are very interested and want to be involved can move this along. So that's where we're at.
So you're pretty confident that the State Fair will one day again be self-sufficient and not have to rely on all this money coming from the state?
I am confident that we will get the process back to where it goes so that we can make the State Fair solvent.
How many members on the State Fair Commission?
There are 7.
And those are all filled at this point?
They are all filled at this time.
It sounds like you've already had to downsize staff quite a bit with the RIFs this year, and then looking at maybe even cutting the days of the fair. I mean, are there any other kind of big changes like that maybe on the way, or anything you can?
Again, when you come into business, you look at reducing your expenses and increasing those revenues. So, I mean, these are things that we will continue to do.